But in the end, this is what the... And in the end, hello there, heroes. I'm the Orange Ranger, and this is a video that comes around every 2 years and is usually hotly anticipated. No topic in the Power Rangers fandom raises more debate and interest and conversation and argument than the selection of a Sentai for a brand new Power Rangers adaptation. I've been debating when to make this video, and I may have waited just a little too long. Joe Deckelmeyer, formerly of That Hashtag Show and now reporting for website The Illuminerdi, has reported that an unnamed source at Hasbro has leaked the next Sentai being adapted for Power Rangers in 2021. Kyuranger Sentai Ryusoulger, which you may remember that I did a rather unflattering overview of shortly after it was announced. Suffice it to say, I wasn't really impressed. I trust the source here. I've actually met Joe at Power Morphicon. He's a great guy and a dedicated fan. And actually, this is not the result that he was pulling for. So he's not just putting his wishes out there. He's hit on a lot of other leaks that came true. But nonetheless, yes, this is an unnamed source and an unconfirmed report. We won't know for sure until at least early February, when we should get a copyright report about the name of the next season. Remember, Power Rangers Ninja Steel wasn't going to be a show about trains. So, in the state where we know with near certainty what the next season is going to be, but not 100%, I figured that I had better get this video made. Now, the pile of adaptable Sentai grows larger and larger as seasons are skipped, and with the formerly skipped Sentai Go-Busters being the current adaptation, Power Rangers Beast Morphers, none of them can truly be dismissed. So I will try to make this quick, giving you a quick little summary on each and giving some of my pros and cons. And well, what the heck? Since we have a practically elected candidate, let's go ahead and start with that one. Like I said, I did a video summing up the basics of Ryusoulger, which you can totally just go back and watch, or watch again, since old views help me out just as much as new ones, hint hint, wink wink, nod nod. But honestly, I haven't gotten to watch Ryusoulger, or Lupinranger vs. Patranger, or much of Kamen Rider 01. So much to watch, so much to catch up on. According to Wikipedia, 65 million years ago, the Knights of the Ryusoul tribe went to war against the dictatorial Druidon tribe who were trying to take over the planet. That war was halted by the meteor that killed the dinosaurs. The Druidon fled into space, while the Kyuranger, the dinosaur partners of the Ryusoul tribe, were placed into a deep sleep. The members of the tribe passing down their titles and powers through peacetime. Now, as you might imagine, the Druidon have come back, and it's up to the newest generation to resume the battle. The pros of Ryusoulger come almost entirely from a business standpoint, which I know sounds like a snarky negative opinion, but it's just how I see it. Hasbro wants to do dinosaurs for the exact same reason that Toei and Bandai wanted to do dinosaurs. Dinosaurs sell. Kids almost universally love dinosaurs, and well, here are some dinosaurs. I will say combining dinosaurs with knights is a creative idea, though I still really wish that it had been dragons, which seems like a no-brainer. Also, Ryusoulger has a collectible gimmick which drives toy sales, which are basically Ranger keys again. Figurines with a flipping mechanic, a flip-up mechanic, not a flipping, anyway, that power their weapons. The con is the exact same thing as the pro. It's dinosaurs again. I do realize that Dino Supercharge was way back in 2016, but the way the show's coming out now with adaptations lasting 2 years, we would only get 2 adaptations between Dinosaur Power Rangers seasons. That is even quicker than the 5-year gap between the 2 dinosaur-themed Sentai. Plus, I just don't find the show that aesthetically pleasing. I'm sorry, but the Ryusoulger suits are ugly. The night visors on the helmets clash with the colors of the helmets themselves, and the suits just have this boring kind of jagged vertical slash on them. The mecha are the same way, they're just big blocky colored dinosaurs, again really reminding me of the Kyuranger mecha, and they just have those gray visors on them as well that clash with their colors. I may feel differently when I actually watch Ryusoulger, though probably not, because my objections are based on surface level things like theme and aesthetics. Now, can they make a good Power Rangers season out of Ryusoulger? Of course they can! I loved Dino Charge, Supercharge a little less, and any Sentai can be turned into a quality Power Rangers season. But until that show actually starts airing, all I can judge are the visuals. And I am not impressed. Hey, here's an idea. Since I started with the currently airing Sentai, how about we work backwards from there? Kaito Sentai Lupinranger versus Keisatsu Sentai Patranger was a bold experiment by Toei. One that apparently failed so epically that they went running straight back to dinosaurs. Which is totally different from the situation we're looking at with Power Rangers, which boldly experimented with Beast Morphers, and now apparently is running straight back to dinosaurs.
Don't worry, Jacques. Soon God will exact his revenge upon us for our imperfections.
Lupinranger versus Patranger is basically Power Rangers cops versus robbers. Except that you have to switch the names around because the Lupinrangers are the robbers, so robbers versus cops. But we don't say robbers versus cops, we say cops versus robbers. Moving on. In the times before the now time, legendary thief Arsène Lupin stole a collection of repainted henshin devices and roleplay toys, calling it the Lupin Collection. Later on, the Lupin Collection is stolen by a group of monster mobsters calling themselves Gangler. Two different teams of Sentai try to get the Lupin Collection back. A group of Lupin fans called the Lupinrangers, and 3 police officers called the Patrangers. Okay, I think officially Patranger is romanized more as like Patranger, Patranger, or whatever, but as you can hear, that's kind of difficult for me to say. I got used to pronouncing it Patranger early on, so I'm just going to say that. Sorry. This leads to a classic 3-way battle, as while both teams want to get the items away from the Gangler, the Lupinrangers are stealing the items back for themselves and don't really care about the law.
You betray the law!
While the Patrangers follow the rules and want the items secured for the safety of society. It gets even better when each of the teams gets a 4th Ranger, who ends up being the same person, playing double agent for his own means. I've officially grown tired of typing its name, so this show is creative as heck. I love the idea of 2 different teams of Rangers who are not on the same page. I will say that a number of fans see this as an excellent opportunity to finally get Power Rangers Hexagon, that story pitch adaptation for Kyuranger that's basically Power Rangers Civil War. It's perhaps an even better fit for Hexagon than Kyuranger was. You have 2 equally matched teams of Rangers who fight each other over the course of an entire season. However, it's that same at-odds thing that I think works against this show in terms of chances of being adapted here in the United States. American society has a far more black and white view on morality. Yes, we have stories like Marvel's Civil War where heroes fight heroes. The thing is, Power Rangers is not seen as that morally complex. Parents would surely question why the bad guy Rangers were getting so much focus, were so present in the toy line, etc. Also, being honest, these suits really don't do it for me. The Lupinranger suits come close, but overall I think it's just the massive visors on the helmets. Their mecha are okay. They're basically vehicles that have combination lock dials on them, which combine with a big gun thing that's also playing both sides because of reasons. Again, I haven't seen this one either. So now let's talk about a Sentai that I have seen, and my #1 choice for adaptation, Uchuu Sentai Kyuranger. In the near future, Earth, as well as many other planets, have been conquered by a space shogunate called Jark Matter, which is run by a big, dark, scary monster called Don Armagay. Get it? Armagay? Don? Armageddon? Ooh, getting a little risky there with the content ID, aren't I? Just in case that does get claimed by Content ID and I have to mute it, I did an Aerosmith Armageddon gag there.
Get on with it!
You're still here in 2020, hey MPG? Alright, fine, moving on. Dark matter is contested by a rebel group called the Kyurangers. The Kyurangers are acting on a legend that dark matter will eventually be stopped by a team of 9 saviors. The words 9 and savior in Japanese sound similar, so it's a pun, who use little globe collectibles called Kyutama to become rangers. Of course, even when you start out with 9 rangers, and by start out I mean within like 5 or 6 episodes, you still have to escalate things over the course of an entire season, so the 9 saviors actually end up being the 12 saviors. Of course, the whole thing ends up being a predestination paradox anyway, because there's some time travel involved, and it turns out the Kyurangers established the legend that they actually ended up following. So, there you go.
Wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey stuff.
As weird as this is going to sound, the con of Kyuranger is actually the opposite of what you'd expect for a company selling toys. There's too much stuff. It's manageable, don't get me wrong, but for a company that just took over the brand, they're only going to be 2 years in at this point, and started out with a very toy-light Sentai, which may have not 100% been their choice, that's a pretty big jump. You could not get all 12 Rangers out in the first wave of action figures, or even the first 2 waves. Now, how big a problem that is entirely up to you to decide. For me, I think all you have to do is plan out the release of the toys in advance, which is something that they should be doing anyway, and just list that on the back of the various boxes so kids know when they can get stuff related to their favorite Ranger. However, there are those who do feel that the sheer amount of stuff in Kyuranger means not only are we not getting it now, but it's probably never going to be a good choice. The strongest pro of Kyuranger is its visuals. I love these suits with the asymmetrical visors that represent the constellations. The suits are all slightly different, representing who and what the Rangers are. Spoilers, half the team isn't actually human, but there's more than enough common theming for them to clearly be the same team. The mechs I'm a little more mech on, mainly because each of them is forced to have this giant version of the Kyutama stuck to them somewhere. Doubutsu Sentai Zyuohger. Parallel to Earth is a world full of furries, anthropomorphic animals called Jumans. Jumans can and have been crossing back and forth to Earth via a giant Rubik's Cube gate guarded by chosen guardians. But one day, 4 Jumans cross over to Earth just as the Death Galians attack, having chosen the planet as the site of their 100th blood game. The Death Galians destroy the gate, and it requires 6 smaller cubes to fix. Each of the 4 Jumans has one, and they happen upon a human that has a 5th one, and through the power of plot convenience, has the animal power necessary to become their Red Ranger. So, they search for the 6th cube, while the master of the Death Galians, Master Genus, literally sits on his butt for the entire season. What better way to wrap things up than sitting down in a big, comfy chair, am I right? The pros of Zyuohger. Give me a second, I'm thinking here. Okay, well, it sets up pretty easily as a Power Rangers story. You could follow up on Power Rangers Wild Force if you wanted to, but even if you don't, people who have animal spirits fighting against aliens. It's a pretty basic Power Rangers concept. They've done that story already. The con of Zyuohger is the visuals. I'm sorry, this Sentai is uglier than Ryusoulger. I really like the helmets, and it's the only thing I like about how this show looks. I'm pretty sure Toei stole a set of shirts from Disney's Animal Kingdom in order to design these suits. And it was an unfortunate turn of events when Toei's theme selector pulled the word cubes out of the hat with the little slips of paper that has the randomly selected themes of a season. I think the general idea is that Zyuohger was the 40th Sentai. So, you know, cubes, squares, 4 sides, 4T. Except that a cube has 6 sides, not 4. Anyway, they went all in on cubes as a theme. They're morphers, they're guns, they're mecha, and it just makes everything blocky and ugly. If Hasbro does ever adapt this season, they need to reach out to Microsoft to do a brand partnership with Minecraft. Ressha Sentai Toqger, my heart, that's where my mic is, my heart's favorite choice for adaptation. 5 young people wake up on a train and discover that they've been chosen to become the Toqgers. The Toqgers fight against the evil Gothic Shadow Line, an empire bent on spreading literal darkness across the land. The Toqgers fight with the power of imagination. The Toqgers fight with the power of
imagination!
Really though, besides some light story elements, imagination only impacts their weapon finishing move, which can literally be anything that they imagine. Otherwise, they use a variety of train cars to fight monsters in a battle that most people can't even see, since it takes place in a realm that you have to have great imagination to view. Toqger's pro is out-and-out creativity. Trains have been a part of Power Ranger seasons in the past, but never the core theme itself. And I mean, imagination is literally part of the core theme of this show. The footage is fun and colorful, and the story has a lot of heart to it, even if, yes, that part won't get adapted necessarily. Cons? I don't know, I can't really think of any. This is a perfect show for adaptation, right? Okay, I'm of course kidding, but I'm still not going to call this an out-and-out con. The biggest question surrounding Toqger's adaptation is, of course, its train theme. Would trains sell well enough in the United States to warrant an entire show and toy line themed around them? I personally think it would be fine, mainly because more or less the trains are the Zords, and kids are going to love Zords regardless of what they are. But I can admit that trains are more popular in Japan than they are here in the United States. So, here we are, heroes. Heroes we are? Anyway, my feelings are pretty clear based on what I've just been saying. My heart says Toqger, my head says Kyuranger. So clearly, Ryusoulger is not the answer I was expecting. I'm not going to quite go forward with doing an actual reaction to this announcement, mainly because it's not an announcement yet, is it? It is very, very, very likely, and if it is the choice, I'm going to be disappointed.
But Orange Ranger, the theme of the show doesn't really matter. Can't we just hope that it's a good show?
Of course! My objection to the source material has nothing to do with my hopes for the show. Do you honestly think that I'm so petty that I hate the fact that we're doing dinosaurs a friggin' again, so I hope the show fails? I'm not! Dino Charge was a great show. This show can be good too. I'm going to watch it, and I will review it fairly. However, I have to admit that for me, this is kinda Ninja Steel all over again. When Ninja Steel was announced, I was disappointed that they had skipped over choices that I saw as better and more exciting to do something that was very safe and marketable. So I went into Ninja Steel with lowered expectations, kind of bored with the idea from the beginning. If it's Ryusoulger, it's gonna be the same thing. I'm gonna judge it fairly, but I'm not gonna go into it excited. Alrighty, to wrap this video up, let's go ahead and address what all of you who watch me on a regular basis are thinking of. When Beast Morphers was announced for adaptation, as happy as I was, I began noticing a worrying trend. We were getting more and more Sentai that included Orange Rangers, and they were being passed over one by one. I was not the only one who noticed. Former Hasbro employee Jason Bischoff was once stopped at a convention by a fan and asked why Hasbro hates Orange Rangers and is actively avoiding them. That idea is Ridiculous, of course. Hasbro would not dodge a Sentai adaptation just based on having one Ranger in a rarely used color. Would they? No, I'm kidding, of course, but yeah, here we are again. Zyuohger has an Orange Ranger. Toqger has an Orange Ranger. Kyuranger has an Orange Ranger. But nope, yet again, we dodged them all to pick yet another series that has yet another Zordon danged Gold Ranger!
Okay, dude, calm down. Take a chill pill.
I think what's more concerning for me personally isn't that they keep bypassing Orange Rangers, but that each series that has one has serious concerns that make it questionable if they will ever be adapted. Toqger has the train thing, Zyuohger has the ugly Zord thing, and now, apparently, allegedly, Kyuranger might be seen as too big by Hasbro to ever be viable. I mean, heck, we've got a brand new Sentai coming out, Kyuranger, that I will do a reaction video to when we know a little bit more. For all we know, on that show, we could end up with an Orange Topaz Ranger since it's Jewel themed. And Hasbro could decide that jewels are too girly a theme for a Power Ranger season. I feel like when fans of Power Rangers, especially louder, opinionated ones such as myself, don't like the theme of a season, we're kind of in between a rock and a hard place. I can say that I'm going to watch it anyway, which I'm going to, and then people will say that obviously the theme doesn't really seem to matter because I'm going to watch it anyway. So I could say that I'm not going to watch it because I don't like the visual theme, and then people will say that I'm not giving the show a fair chance to impress me. Kind of feels like there's no way to win. But in the end, it doesn't even matter. That's what all this is about, isn't it? Opinion. If Ryusoulger looks great to you and you're excited about Power Rangers doing dinosaurs yet again, I am genuinely happy for you. I recently retweeted a Ryusoulger gif on Twitter saying something that I truly genuinely mean. I wish that I could be excited. When Beast Morphers was announced, I was very surprised and excited. I want to be sitting on the edge of my seat the second a brand new Power Ranger season is ready to start airing. I don't like feeling like Power Rangers is starting out behind the 8 ball, but it is what it is. Well, that's going to wrap this video up, and I do apologize if it comes off feeling sort of overly negative. Again, I would love to be excited, but I'm not going to pretend to be excited for the sake of pleasing a particular segment of my audience. Someone on Twitter responded to backlash against this news by saying that the Power Rangers fan base is just impossible to please. That's not true. What it is that the Power Rangers fan base is so wide and varied that it's going to be impossible to please everyone all at once. That's why the changing themes thing is so great for a show like this. Everyone in the fan base gets something different and unique that can be their favorite. And that is going to officially wrap up my every 2 years What's Next for Power Rangers video. Thank you folks so much as always for watching. Down in the comments below, gee, I wonder what question I'll ask you to talk about down in the comments below. What Sentai would you like to see adapted into Power Rangers 2021? Bonus question, if it is Ryusoulger, what are your thoughts on that? Discuss all that down in the comments below. While you're down there, make sure to smack that thumbs up button and let me know that you enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel to see all of my videos and ring the bell. Get your notifications set up so you'll be notified whenever I post brand new videos, such as kind of semi-unannounced, unscheduled videos such as these. And if you'd like to lend any financial support to my channel, there are 2 ways that you can do so. Consider becoming one of my patrons by going over to patreon.com/OrangeRangerVideos. There's a whole list of various tiers of support and what you get back for that. I'm up to 3 patrons now. Thank you very much. You will see your names on the end slate at the end of this video. If you can't do the monthly thing though, I totally understand that. Head on over to ko-fi.com/OrangeRangerVideos where you can buy me a coffee. I don't have anything to drink for the first time in like 5 or 6 recording sessions. Imaginary coffee it is. It's imaginarily delicious. I imaginarily set it down. Those are set to $3 right now, and I greatly appreciate any financial support I find at any of those sites, as well as just sharing my videos and telling people about my channel. Until next time, heroes, May the power protect you. P.S. If it is Ryusoulger, what am I going to use for scoring? I've already used fossils. And he's a great guy and a really dedicated fan. Also, Ryusoulger has a collectible gimmick, basically Ranger keys again. While the Patrangers are trying to secure society and blah 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 blooper. While the Patrangers are trying to get the items secured for the safety of society and farts. Of course, when you start out with 9 even shoot. I'm pretty sure Toei stole a set of Animal Kingdom at Disney themed. Someone on Twitter responded to some